Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today I am here to bring you my top 10 4Ks of the year so far, and I'm going to let you know what makes my list different than any list you're going to see like this, and I am looking forward to explaining that and bringing you my top 10. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so I am here with it's July, it's the end of July, and I'm just getting ready to do like what I've watched so far this month, and we'll get to that and got a lot of other videos planned for you guys, some director spotlights and top 10 rankings of their movies, my top 10 favorite horror TV shows. I got a lot of stuff coming in addition to the news, because we should be looking for some Scream Factory October announcements here coming soon. So, you guys know I bring you my targets, but I wanted to bring you, I did a poll on my community tab, and you guys overwhelmingly said, yes, we want to hear from you and your perspective on the top 10 4Ks. So I have this list put together. I have done a lot of watching here lately, and I am going to explain to you why, though, my list might be different, and I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions too before I get to my top 10 list, but I'm not going to run this very long. Why is my list different? Well, you're never going to see a film that was shot in 4K, 6K, or 8K digital with digital movie cameras. They will never be on my top 10 4K release list. Never. That's not to say they don't look excellent, but they should look excellent. To me, there's nothing impressive about that. If the movie was shot in 4K or 6K digital, and then it never had to be on film, setting around, and so I've explained this in other 4K videos, but like you take a movie from 1985 that was shot with 35 millimeter film. It had 4 or even 6K capability in its resolution, but there was no way to deliver that to an audience. So they delivered it in a 2K cinema package that was then later scaled down for VHS and DVD later and all that kind of stuff. And then the film sits around for years and years, and film can degrade. That's where the whole name vinegar syndrome comes from. So to me, it is much more impressive when you take something like that that's been sitting around and was shot on film, and then you restore it and it comes out to this beautiful release that was transferred over from this to digital for you to see it. That is impressive. That requires expert work and such craftsmanship, and there are these companies that do such a great job with it. Whereas if a studio, you will not find Dune or Dune 2 on my list. You will not. Looks beautiful, shot in digital. Okay? And yes, they were going back and forth. IMAX cameras, they were digital cameras that were like converted to IMAX cameras, and then went through the digital stuff went through an IMAX process. So you won't find Dune. You won't find an animated film. You're not going to find any anime. These are things that are all created in a digital world. So they should look great as they were shot in this high quality digital and then passed into another high quality digital. It doesn't require the same kind of craftsmanship or anything else to do it. So that's why you will not find beautiful releases like Crimson Peak on mine. This was actually shot in digital. Even though it's been out for a while, I was shocked to find out before I ever watched it that this was shot in digital. It looks amazing, but it should look amazing because it was always 4K or better in a digital space. So you won't find this, you won't find Dune. That's why you will never find a digital created release on my 4K top 4K lists. So that doesn't mean I don't absolutely love some of them. That's why. Now, I also want to start with a couple of honorable mentions because these are beautiful 4K re-releases. And I am talking first about The Karate Kid. This is the most recent like VHS 4K release, the VHS variant slipcover and everything. This Karate Kid in 4K looks amazing. Absolutely love it. But this, as far as I could understand in my researches, this is just a re-release of a previous scan. But it is a new version released this year with some different extras. So I did want to mention it because it's fantastic. Another one that falls into this category is the Scream Factory re-release of Point Break. Just absolutely killing it. This is one of those slip boxes that I got sent from Blockbuster box sets on Etsy. Has great stuff. But this is a great looking 4K. But again, it's a re-release, so it can't make the top 10 for this year so far. But it did just come out again this year, so if there's some confusion there, I want to kind of put it in my honorable mentions list. Let me quit reflecting at you real quick. All right, so my top 10 list, and I do kind of have these in a top 10 order. So we're going to start with 10, and this is a Scream Factory release, and I got the double whammy slipcover. This is RoboCop 2. This is, first of all, it's a good movie, and the work here, Scream Factory catches heat, man, but like overall, they do really good work. If you know what you're looking for and you're looking at, like, I mean, everybody can have some problems, but a lot of those problems, as I've explained in other videos, can be inherent from the actual film itself and not the restoration work. And RoboCop 2, of course, you got Peter Weller back, and you know, it's a little bit different tone than the first. There's no Verhoeven, but I actually really like this movie. I got this double slipcover set because I actually like this slipcover a whole lot. And I got this the poster with it, of course, but this is a great one. Comes in at number 10 for me. Great work by Scream Factory. The next one up is a Vinegar Syndrome release, and I just watched this. Like, it just came under the wire because I just got this and just watched it. This is Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. And if you saw my Scream Factory unboxing just recently, you would have seen this because this one is awesome, y'all. So this is a release this year. This is a 35 millimeter. They did this from the original 35 millimeter print, I believe. And this one is, 35 restored from its original 35 millimeter camera negative. So this thing looks beautiful. I mean, this is an old movie. Like, this film has been sitting around for 60 years or so. You know, it has been hanging around for a while. And it is awesome. This is a fun movie. Like, some of it's a horror anthology done by restored by Vinegar Syndrome. The colors just pop. The clarity, everything. It's like it could have been filmed today with a retro like aesthetic. And I love the train car. I love the twist at the end. Some of the stories are better than the others. I like the vampire story, the werewolf story. And I love the artist's hand story, and then the twist at the end, which, I mean, you can maybe kind of see coming, but I love it, and it's deep and dark. And so this is a great piece of work here by Vinegar Syndrome. Great cast. Jay says check it out. All right, 10-9. Number 8, coming in at number 8 is a movie that maybe a lot of people didn't know, but like being a kid in the early 80s and having TBS and stuff, I grew up on this movie. This is the Vinegar Syndrome cinematograph release of Little Darlings. And You might see this on other lists. You should see this on other lists because this is a fantastic restoration by Vinegar Syndrome. I mean, they do great work. No matter what you think about the different movies that they do great work when it comes to restorations. This one is no different. The artwork's kind of crazy. I don't understand necessarily the covering up of their faces on the artwork, but art's abstract. The, of course, it's got this special line here and kind of got a little media digibook with it. And this is a good movie. It's a coming of age story. Really, there's a lot of things that would definitely not get into a movie today because it's kind of almost got like an underage versus, of age romance in it, things like that. But as a 4K, just beautifully done. Definitely in my top 10 of the year so far. Little Darlings, Vinegar Syndrome, cinematograph line. All right, so that's 10, 9, 8. So we're at 7. And this is one that I just got recently too and rewatched, and man, that I forget how much fun this one is and kind of raunchy fun. And I am talking about Risky Business by Criterion. This is one that I pre-ordered and could not wait to get. Got it shipped to me and just watched it a couple of nights ago. So it just came in under the wire too before this video. And I was blown away. The scene where he first has sex with Rebecca De Mornay, dude, she looks like an angel put in there digitally almost or something. It is so damn clear and beautiful. Director approved 4K Ultra HD. It says the restorations were of the original director's cut. And I should say I watched the director's cut. They have the theatrical release on here as well. But man, this is iconic, fun. I'm going to rewatch again because, I mean, Rebecca De Mornay is hot in it, and Tom Cruise is really good. And you forget that Curtis Armstrong, otherwise known as Booger, is in this movie. This is a great one. Hell of a job by Criterion. And I will say, I believe this is the only Criterion that makes my list for this year so far. And with damn good reason, Risky Business comes in at number, what is that, 7? 10, 9, 8, 7. Yes. All right. So coming in at number 6, we jump to Arrow Video and their release of American Gigolo starring Richard Gere. Man, this is a brand new 4K remaster of the original negative done by Arrow. It's got this interesting, it's like a slip box, so it's not off the side, it's like a slip cover. Now, I got the Arrow store exclusive, so that's why mine looks different. I much preferred this original artwork, although like it's kind of all the way through here. Good movie, like just definitely an American classic, in my opinion. And the 4K work on this is absolutely, make sure you guys can get a good look at that. I love that cover. I love that cover so much more than the other one. Not that the other one is bad. I just love this one. It's just iconic looking to me. But this 4K, and of course it's a loaded box set. I wish you'd have gave us a box set of Trick or Treat. I really do, man. That thing could have been a baller. But absolutely just, I mean, I don't know what else you can say. This is a fantastic 4K. Comes in here for me at, I keep forgetting the numbers, at 10, 9, 8, 7, at number 6, which means we are about to go to our top 5. And coming in at number 5 is the Kino Lorber release of Crybaby. Dude, yes, they don't have as good a packaging or whatever, but I did get the slip cover. Pre-ordered it, got it early. I've kind of talked about this one in another video, but they loaded Kino Lorber. First of all, the 4K is amazing. I've heard, and I kind of addressed it in another 4K video. You guys, I'll try to link those at the end if you want some more like technical stuff about 4Ks and sort of my takes as a filmmaker and all that stuff, an editor. But I've heard people, oh, well, in the background, in the blacks, in the darks, it does this, and a bullshit. This is a really really good 4K right here. Colors pop. Now the colors, like I said before, and I say in those videos, color correction, color treatment, color grade, that's subjective. You could prefer the original cooler look. It is not the restoration itself that changed the color. It's a new color grade that changed it. But I absolutely love it. The colors are lifelike. It's something that you have the latitude to do when you shoot with film. And I think it absolutely rocks. I love this movie. It's campy John Waters at its best. You've got tons of extra features here, including an interview with Amy Locane, even though she was in jail. You got Tracy Lords on here, and Tracy is always awesome. And you got basically new stuff from everyone except for Johnny Depp. But this one rocks. Hell of a job by Kino Lorber. All right, the next one up is one from Screen Factory that nobody's talking about, and I got a 4K standalone review of this one coming up because this one is way overlooked. And people talk about reference quality. You want to talk about friggin' reference quality. I'm talking about Matinee, the 4K with John Goodman. First of all, I love this movie. This is a Joe Dante film. I rented the hell out of this movie when I was a kid. I had this poster on my wall as recently as like 10 years or so ago, and then it just eventually kind of dilapidated over being moved here and there because I got it when I was a kid. Or not a kid. I think I was like, what year was this? 1992. So I was a teenager when this came out. But, I mean, still a kid, though. The colors, this movie is set in like during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it's supposed to be in Key West. And you guys know, if you follow me, I'm a sucker for any type of horror movie or movie that takes place and involves a movie theater. I'm so into movie theaters and that kind of vibe and everything. It takes place in here. A lot of it was actually shot at Universal Studios Florida, which is where this shirt came from. But man, it captures the aesthetic. It captures the feeling of the Cuban Missile Crisis going on and people going to see this old B movie, like sci-fi movie with like the kind of gimmicks that they used to want to put in movies, like with buzzing seats and things like that. Man, but the colors, the grade, every friggin' thing, the crispiness. I mean, you could tell me this was shot in 8K digital, and you could believe it on just a casual watching. You could believe it. This thing is done so well. Talk all the smack you want about Screen Factory. I am proud to have this one in my collection. Screen Factory, and they don't pay me. They don't give me nothing. But they kick this out of the park. This is phenomenal. Way upgrade over the Blu-ray or DVD or any damn thing else you can have. Get this one. You will have fun with this movie, and it looks amazing. Amazing. Matinee coming in here at, what, that's number 5? Because I got 1, 2, nope, that's number 4. Comes in at number 4. All right, Matinee rocking it. Hell of a job, Screen Factory. All right, now back up. This is one I had never seen. I love a lot of what Walter Hill does, and I tend to, although like my favorite movie of his is not The Warriors or anything like that. It is Crossroads with Ralph Macchio. But I had never seen this, and Fuzz at the original Fuzz and Daniel at Cobwebs like pushed me over the edge about getting this one with their videos and stuff. And I'm talking about, I mean, I was going to get the VSUs anyway, but the VSU, the Southern Comfort 4K release, holy shit. Like, this is, because, man, this movie was shot 35 millimeter. And this movie came out in 81. And this movie was shot in very tough filming conditions. Like, super tough filming conditions in the swamp. Like, I mean, it wasn't like they were all in a studio. This was shot, let's see. So I watched the 4K Ultra HD contains a 106-minute feature presentation presented in HDR, restored from the 35 millimeter interpositive, which makes how good it looks even more impressive because it was from the interpositive. And it, dude, like this is if you haven't seen this, it's they go the Louisiana military or Louisiana National Guard gets like a basic like military maneuver assignment just that they have to do every so often. They don't even have bullets; they carry blanks, but they got to go through and chart through this Louisiana swamp. They get to this deep water. They want to cross it fast and do some stuff, and they leave a note and a couple of canoes behind, but they take these 3 canoes that they found tied up that weren't theirs, and then these guys show up and they're not listening to them when they're being told, hey, we'll bring these back and you know all that kind of stuff, and we left you a note. So one of the idiots fires his gun towards them. They don't know it's blanks, so they start ducking for cover and everything else. They think they're under attack, and one of them gets up and blows the captain's head off with a rifle. And then from there, these guys are hunted. It's like the experience of being in Vietnam is what it's supposed to mirror. This movie is super good. Powers Booth, Fred Ward, Keith Carradine. This movie is super good. And I'm not going to talk about the ending too much, but like if you ask if you Google what happens at the end, AI and Wikipedia talks about you hear all of this shooting. That is not shooting at the end. It is, and I actually verified this, is not shooting at the end. It is the helicopter blade sound and the truck sound. So if you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. But just a fantastic release here by Vinegar Syndrome. Southern Comfort, really, really good and really well done. Comes in at number 3. Now, number 2, we're going back to Scream Factory, and this one's so damn nice, I bought it twice. And I am talking about Killer Clowns. Y'all, this is another one of the slip boxes I got from Blockbuster box sets to protect the Steelbook, the awesome Steelbook. Now, this is whether you got the Steelbook or I bought the Steelbook and then I went and got the other edition that has this like 2 different cover arts, and I friggin' love this cover art right here. And I love it. Comes with 2 posters too from Scream Factory. I love Killer Clowns. I love the campy fun nature, and you want to talk about reference quality and colors popping and clarity and stable grain, which bullshit on all that. We've talked about grain. Make sure you check those videos. This movie has everything you want from a 4K. The packaging, the different packaging options, Steelbook, regular release, 2 different slip covers, posters, has everything you want. And then, like, I just watched this about 3 months ago on streaming, and then you watch the 4K that Scream Factory put out here, and it is like watching a whole other movie, like live and in color in front of you. You can't do any better with a 4K restoration than this one, and it is, I mean, I haven't even opened this one yet because it is the same one. So it's a 4K scan from the original camera negative. That's always going to help it be a better quality. So, you know, when you start having to get into inner positives and inner negatives, you're going to start to lose some clarity there and some ability to bring it to its fullest resolution. But Scream Factory, y'all, I mean, this is top 10, and they've got several in my top 10 of the year so far. So I hear a lot of grief about them, but they have been knocking it out of the park with some of these 4K releases. And I'm going to tell you, too, I watched Phantoms 4K, and not only is that a underrated, almost Lovecraftian style movie, the 4K on that, especially because a lot of that movie is dark, that 4K is good, too. It is really good, too. So maybe a little more love and a little less hate for Scream Factory, because I think Scream Factory, Arrow, and Vinegar Syndrome overall do an amazing job with their 4Ks. And my number 1 of the year so far, unfriggin' questioned, I've watched it a couple of times, is Conan the Barbarian. People are like, oh, where is Twister? Twister, it would be on my honorable mentions list. I think it's fantastic. It's a studio release. It should be fantastic. They have access to any materials. I like the screen 4K is amazing. I should have had it over here on my honorable mentions because it definitely would be. And you could argue, one way or the other because it's phenomenal too. But this one, as old as this film is, and shot on location in weather and elements, and then this film set around for this long, this thing is amazing looking. I mean, absolutely amazing. Like, it is hard. And then, of course, you get this beautiful presentation. I preferred the two different box sets because, honestly, Conan the Destroyer can be on here too. But I think it's more impressive because this is an older film. And, like, I know a little bit more of the history from reading his book about how, like, hard this was and the conditions they faced. So that adds to making filming harder. Whereas a lot of the second movie was filmed more, you got a little more studio, a little different on location. This was on location in some hard ass places to film. But it is a 4K in Dolby Vision and HDR, 3 versions of the film via seamless branching. That is a cool technology where it can branch off and so they can get more onto one disc. So you have the theatrical cut, which is 127 minutes, international cut, 129. The extended cut's 130. I watched the extended cut. Restored in 4K from the original negative. That helps a lot. Y'all, the darks, the lights. There's a couple spots where, if you're worried about grain, it gets a little more grainy, like when he's in the snow or like in failing light. Those are hard conditions to light and get a film shot. It can easily cause more noise in there that then shows up as grain when you do the 4K. I do not care. This movie has like whole other vivid life. Arnold is one of my favorite movie stars. Arnold means so much to me. If you're a member, if you become a member, join my channel, there is a special video on there where I have a very special thing with an Arnold, a piece of collectible pop culture, an Arnold book by Tatian, and you get to see a little bit into my life and his life with that. He means a lot. This is an incredible release here, and the work is just phenomenal by Arrow, and they do a great job of restoration combined with packaging. I absolutely love it. So I had 2 or 3 from Arrow. I had one. Let's see. How many did I have from Arrow? I had 2 from Arrow. There could have been more. I had 2 from Arrow. I had 1, 2, 3 from Vinegar Syndrome. And then I had 1 Kino Lorber, 1 Criterion, and 3 Scream Factory. So did I do 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I had RoboCop 2, Killer Clowns, and Matinee, all from Scream Factory. I had Little Darlings, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, and Southern Comfort from Vinegar Syndrome. I had Crybaby from Kino Lorber. I had Criterion, Risky Business, and then I had American Gigolo and Conan from Arrow. So a nice mix. Those people are knocking it out of the park. And no matter what you think about Scream Factory, and I hear people talking a lot about them now, they do damn good work. And Vinegar Syndrome, no matter what you think about the movies they put out, their restorations are phenomenal. And then Arrow, maybe the best combination of packaging and restoration work out there. Excellent stuff. I don't want to hear complaining. Like, we all want more things from them. I really wanted a Trick or Treat chunky box from Arrow because I think it would have been amazing shelf art to look at. And that's one of my top 10 horror movies probably of all time. So, but that's me being selfish. I have to take myself out of that. This is my top 10. You won't find anything shot digitally on it. And I love these movies. And of course, things like Twister could have been in there. Phantoms look great. But these I feel like set apart and are amazing. So let me know in the comments what you think of my list. What you think about me not having digitally shot stuff on my list. I just feel like if you shoot it digitally and then you put it on digital and it never had to go through a different process the way these films do, that's sort of like you're running a marathon, but you got to start at the 26-mile mark and you only had a quarter mile to go and everybody else had to run the full thing. So it's definitely a little bit different take, because I know you're going to find a lot on other lists, but not mine. And that's why. Not that I don't love them, but I just have that little bit different perspective on them. So let me know your favorite 4Ks of the year so far. Let me know what you think of my list. And please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this and had a good time. I love doing this kind of stuff. I love talking to y'all. And if you want to hang around and get even more stuff, get your name in lights, get access to some of that behind the scenes stuff that I mentioned, get like free copies of my movies, see behind the scenes stuff of my movies, you can join here by clicking the button below, or go to my Patreon and join. I can do a lot of stuff there too, and I'll have so much content coming, and we're probably going to fire up a live stream for members here soon once we pass 10, and I'm going to have a live stream on this channel soon, and so we can just talk about stuff and have a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do a watch along for Dark Roads, one of my movies, if I can figure out how the hell to do that. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AVA Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.